Hello and welcome to Frank's School. The video that will come on next is made at a place called Eposende in Portugal. And the two principal things there are the Castro de Sao Lourenco, which in the opening shot, as you're seeing fields in the background, I don't know, it's not really a mountain, but I'll call it a mountain. It stands up there. That's where that Castro is. There's a church up there. Part of it is there, and then I jump. There's a great contrast, because then I jump to the hotel where we stayed, which was, I believe, a 3-star hotel. Suave Mar, I think, is the name of it. And how it ended up being cheap enough for some people like Shirley and me to stay there was because it was off season. I'm very sure that just maybe a week later it would have been very, very much more expensive. But I talk about that in the video. Well, this was sort of Shirley's day. She loves the shore, the ocean, to walk along the shore, and she had said that. And on different occasions, we had designed the trip to try to make sure that she had some time on the shore. It didn't really work out very well because of the weather, and she knew that. And then she got sick in Lisbon. So that was maybe somewhat of a disappointment to her, but she wasn't disappointed in the trip at all. I do want to say that she had paid her way. I mean, she worked for me in a sense. She did all this driving, and she let me basically choose the route. And yet she paid her way. She paid her hotel rooms, and she paid her half of the meals. She was great to travel with, though, because we didn't go out to restaurants at all. We stopped at grocery stores and bought food at grocery stores. She was good, very good. She was the only one out of about 10 people that I tried to get to go with me on the tour. I at first had visions of spending days at José's mill working on that, but it didn't work out. And for a long time then it looked like there would have been 4 of us traveling together. A friend of mine here, Shirley's husband, Thomas. But in the end, it turned out she was the only one. It cost her about $1,200 to make that trip. 11 days for her. Myself, it cost me, I don't think it cost quite that much. $2,500, and I was traveling for about 14 days. Now, more than $1,000 of that was the plane flight. And I don't want to go into great detail about this, but I just do want to point out that Shirley had paid to make this trip. What was in it for her? Well, we're friends. But I speak Portuguese, and it was an opportunity. This was a trip that a person would normally never, a German, would never be able to take very easily. So I don't want to go on about this, but you do see her, and at one point I film her directly on. Most of the time she's just sort of in the background. You see her, she waves, and she's around. But I thought, since that one occasion where I actually zoom in on her and you can get a good look at Shirley, my traveling companion, I thought, well, I'd just point that out. The one other thing I'll say, I wrote it out here, is Escola Arqueologia de Freixa. I don't know anything about that except that they were given credit for the work that was done at this Castro. They apparently, volunteers and students from that school every year go and work on that some more. Well, this is enormous contrast. When you think about, I talk about it a little in the video, to go from the living conditions of the people who for hundreds of years lived up on that mountain in that camp in various stages, and then the living conditions in a 3-star hotel. What a difference. I guess maybe one other thing I'll say is the shore is very, very windy. And that's a protected area too. I suppose I should say something about all that sand that's over everything. Well, I think they obviously clean that up in the high season, but that's also a protected area. And you'll want to turn the volume down when we're down there at the shore. And I don't even hold the camera right because we're being blasted by that wind. All right, see you next time.